Hey, great morning. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Set Your Day with Dr. J. Today, I'm going to talk about climbing your financial mountain. Hey, right now, if you're not becoming awakened to the fact that, man, you need more money to live and to thrive while you're here on this earth, you're living in fantasy land. So we're going to talk about how to really thrive financially and the importance of how you need to make a major shift in what you think about money and your income. Thank you so much for connecting up. Hey, the first 20 minutes of your day, we give you something positive and something encouraging. I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of change in the earth. There's a lot of change going on. And here's what I want to tell you, that in the midst of so much change, it brings a lot of opportunity. That's right. That's right. The world is changing so fast, but because change is happening so fast, that means more and more opportunities are out there and available to us. So it's no sense in getting discouraged or getting frustrated, but it's really, this is a divine moment for us as problem solvers, as God's children in the earth. We are here to solve the problems that people face. And so when change comes, there's always an accelerated amount of problems. Our responsibility is to figure out how we can come with the solutions to people's problems. So thank you for joining me here. I'm excited about today because I want you to understand that as we talk about setting your day, it's important for you to understand you need to not only set your day, but you need to set the next decade of your life. And you see, the way you do that from a financial point of view, because that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about your money, because let's face it, a lot of people right now are, they're facing stress about their money. Gas prices are at an all-time high ever in the history of the world. You're paying more for gas just than ever, right? And so right now, money is on your mind. You go to the grocery store, prices are outrageous. You know, anything you're doing, you're trying to do right now, it's like it just costs money. It's like everything just went and it blew up. And the people who get impacted by that the most is not the wealthy. The people who get impacted by that the most is not even necessarily the poor, because the poor are going to keep getting their support from the government, right? That's gonna keep coming in, and yes, they get stretched, but the biggest percentage of people that really get punched in the face are people who live in the comfortable middle class. See, and that the key word is comfortable. And when you live in comfort, you're not challenged, you're not stretching yourself, you're not growing. And the greatest enemy to our potential, to becoming everything God wants us to become, so we can do what He wants us to do and have what He wants us to have and help the people God wants us to help, right? The foundation of that is us unleashing our potential. So some people say, oh man, he's all about prosperity. I had one person, you're all about prosperity. I'm like, no, you are misunderstanding my message. My message is really about potential, maximizing human potential of who you could be, what you could do, what you could have. But here's what I've come to realize is there's no way, it's impossible to fully maximize your potential unless you have plenty of money. That's right. It's impossible. Without plenty of money, you are stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. You are stuck where you are until you can get plenty. And it's only when you have plenty can you buy the books, can you get the resources, can you get the coaching that you need, right? And you say, well, God's my coach. Well, that's good, but I'm kind of finding out that if that's all you needed was God, he's not doing a very good job. No. God said all throughout his word that there's so much wisdom in getting counsel and having somebody that speaks into your life, that coaches you, that challenges you, that stretches you. And that's my job in your life as we look at this important thing called your money, your finances. And what I want to help you do, and I want to start setting your mind like for the next decade by helping you understand a concept that I think is super duper important for you to grasp onto. And the first thing we got to realize is, okay, the future is going to be way more expensive than we even think it is. So I've been saying a long time, America is on sale. The real estate we've had is on sale. The lifestyle we've been able to afford here in America has been amazing. When you compare it to other places of the world, and you see the kind of incomes they're making, the houses they're living in, the apartments, everything here in America is supersized compared to the rest of the world, and we're able to live way above what most people are able to live. All right. Now, it's important to understand that things are going up. It will continue to go up. That's the one thing that's always guaranteed. All right. So the question is what are you going to do? Are you going to be like the four lepers sitting outside of the gate? They were broke. They didn't have anything to eat. They were struggling. They were sitting there left to die. And are you going to just sit there and say, okay, well, we're dead. Nothing's going to happen. That's it. I give up. I surrender. I'm not going to have a dream. No, one guy said, hey, we're going to just sit here. Let's at least take a risk. Let's at least get up here and get out of here. And let's go to where the army is. And then God began to move on their behalf in an amazing, amazing way. And they totally plundered the enemy. So everything starts, right, with a new picture of where you want to go. Like if you want to just sit in around with your little friends, just like those lepers, they're all sitting around. And I'm sure they sat there for a long time. But one guy got a picture of hey, life can get at least better than this. And so I want to show you this morning something that I think is very, very, very important for you to understand about setting bigger targets. See, one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are struggling is because they never set really big targets that's like life-changing. Like, man, if I achieve this, my whole life changes completely. What we do is we set targets that we know we can hit. So let me show you how this works. I like to describe it as a mountain, right? Like here's this mountain coming up. Here's our big mountain. Now on the bottom of the mountain, right down here, the bottom of the mountain is what you know. Okay, my book's in the way for you. This is what you know. The next level of the mountain here is what you think. And then the next level of the mountain is imagine. So when we're talking about setting goals, or we're talking about changing our financial situation, here's what many people do. Many people just set goals on what they know they can do. So this right here, right? This right here is a goal people set, well, I know I can do that. So when we talk about financial goals, They say, okay, well, I'm making $40,000 a year. I know that I can make a couple $1,000s more. So they go 40,000. I can work some overtime, or whatever. I can do a little side thing over here, make some money. And, I know I can make 42,000. So what do? They set their goal at 42K because they know they can do that. But see, on the bottom of the mountain, what you know doesn't build any muscles, doesn't build any strength at all. To set down here at the bottom of the mountain, only setting goals of what you know that you can do. Because why? You've done it before. It's kind of like the guy that said, hey, I want to set a goal. I said, what's your goal? He says, I want to buy a new Buick. A new car. I want a new car. I'm like, great, that's good. I said, well, what kind of car are you driving now? He said, a Buick. I said, okay. I said, how old's the Buick? He said, 4 years old. I'm like, okay. So you want a new Buick. 4 years ago, you bought that Buick. Are you tracking where I'm going? You bought that 4 years ago, and now you're setting a goal that you want to buy another one. Well, you're setting a goal that you know you can already achieve. You see, that doesn't stretch you. The next level then is what? What you think that you can do. All right? So the next level of goal setting is, number one is no. Number two is what you think you can. So this one gets a little bit out there. So this one is like, hey, I think, if I have the right plan and if I have the right strategy, I think this 42, I really think I could go to 50. Now I'm going to have to work a lot of hours. I'm going to have to really grind. I'm going to have to do this to be able to get there. But I think, I believe I can do this. So that's like, okay, knowing, then the next level is thinking. Now, this requires a little bit more of a stretch, right? Because you're stretching your goals. But let me ask you a question. Is $50,000 going to be something that like super motivates you, right? Like you can already tell here that like just imagining another $8,000 is like, wow, well, with inflation, I mean, I'm just still paying my bills, still being able to just make it every single year. I'm still short. I'm still right at living paycheck to paycheck. So in goal setting, see, the highest level of goal setting is up here. It's when you begin to tap in to your imagination. Now, your imagination, right, is something that is unlimited. It's unhindered. It's the divine possibilities of how much money you could make. And this is where I challenge people. I say every person should set a goal. Let's put a little flag up here. Every person should set a goal at $1 million. This is a flag. You want to get to the summit. You want to get to the top. Some of you may already be there. Some of you need to set a flag at 10 million. Or maybe some of you just need to begin to set a flag at $100,000 a year. These numbers up here are something that if you hit that changes your entire life. That's a game changer for you. And this requires you to see a picture. Imagination is something that God gave you to be able to create the life that you want. Because you see, anything you create has to be seen first in the invisible, then in the natural. So you have to begin to be able to see it. The guy with the Buick, he was just seeing what he already knew he could produce. He wasn't using his imagination to say, hey, okay, I'm in a Buick. How about a Bentley? Right? Now, I know that may sound like, well, that's an extreme. Well, if you can't imagine it, guess what? You'll never drive in it. So if you can't imagine yourself, right, getting out of making $20,000 a year, you'll never be able to imagine yourself here at 100,000. You'll never be able to imagine yourself at $1 million or $10 million. What you got to do is you got to see it before it happens. And you got to see it in your imagination and allow it. You got to feed your imagination with these new goals and allow it to become something that literally drops down inside of you that you begin to know. See, it begins to rework it. You begin to know in your heart. That's where belief is. If you believe in your heart, that's where belief is. Now you begin to know because you feed yourself these goals, this flag that you want to accomplish, the top of the mountain where you want to arrive for your life. Now you know, right? I can do this. I got this. Now you create the energy. Now you create the momentum. You're knowing, you're thinking, yes, I can. Yes, I can. And now you're like, okay, wow, I can achieve this. And you're feeding the mind a picture. Your mind needs a picture of a future that you want to create. See, some of you are like, well, I need to know how am I going to do it? Well, you're way too far ahead. You got to plant the picture first. You got to have the how-to first, or you got to have the picture first, then the how-to will show up. Because if you don't get the picture first, the how-tos will never come. You'll never be able to figure it out. And then you'll never have the energy and the inner fire that's going to take to produce it. So when you look at this, you see right here, this is where you are stretched. See, to go from here to here, in imagination forces you to be stretched. It forces you to say, wow, I've been stuck at $50,000, $60,000 a year, and now I'm believing for a new figure, 100, 1 million, 10 million. And so what I know right now, or who I am right now, is not enough. I'm going to have to read. I'm going to have to study. I'm going to have to learn. I'm going to have to develop a new skill for my life so that I can get there. Wow. And this is when your life begins to be changed. See, until you grow on the inside, nothing's going to start growing on the outside. And the way we grow, the only way to grow, is to set bigger goals, higher goals for our life. And that's why so many people, they just go to church, go to church, go to church, go to church, go to church. They love God. Oh, I just want to get to know Him more. All right, great. That's wonderful. I want to get to know Him more. Great. But, kind of realize most people in this generation know more about God than any other generation in the history of the world. We have more church. We have more access to sermons and teachings and television evangelists. We've got it all. The most immature person knows more than most people did, 25 years ago, 100 years ago. So I get it that you want to grow in God, but in order to maximize your potential here on earth, you got to work on this other area. You got to set some bigger goals in this other area of your life. Now, what I want you to do if you're watching, the question at hand is, how do I get here? That's the big question. Because I like the guy with the Buick. In order to get to the top of this mountain, I can't get there with the same vehicle I'm driving in. I'm gonna need another financial vehicle to get me there, because the vehicle I'm in now just isn't going to work. It doesn't have the capacity. It doesn't have the possibility to make it happen. So, man, I got to shift vehicles. Now, that's why in this season, when I'm talking about my book, Fast Track, in Fast Track, I talk about how really the quickest way to get to your bigger goals financially is by starting a education business, by becoming an author, a speaker, a consultant, a coach. We call it the expert industry. And that's why I created 83K Academy, to train people on how to develop new skills. And if you desire it all in your heart to help people, to serve people, this is a vehicle that you can begin to train yourself, prepare yourself, so that you can create another business to hit some of these targets. And so if you're interested in that at all, I want you just to post down below 83K. 83K. Just type comment 83K. And my Fast Track bot will connect you. And what I do is I mentor every quarter. I mentor 10 people who are really serious to say, man, yeah, I want to create a new vehicle. I have a desire to care for people, to help people, to encourage people, to be a consultant, a coach. I have a desire to be a thought leader. And our classes are open right now. We're getting ready to start a new one in April. So right now, we have opened the doors for applications. You got to apply, and you'll end up talking to Coach Sherry, and Coach Sherry will talk with you and see if this is a good fit for you. So if you have any thoughts in your mind, like, yeah, man, I want to transition out of the job that I'm in, and I have a desire to do something bigger with my life, post 83K down below. And my Fast Track robot will get you connected and move you to where you can apply. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I know there's a lot of you who watch Set Your Day with Dr. J. I know there's a lot of you. I look at you and say, man, that person has huge potential to do some big things. But what you got to get past is what? In order to create something new, you got to get past this right here. You got to say, I can. It's hard to think you can because you don't have a vehicle. It's like if there was two vehicles sitting, right, in your driveway, and one of them was a brand new Corvette and the other one was a Chevy Bolt. And I told you, I said, hey, you can go 180 miles an hour down your highway. And if you own the Chevy Volt and that's your car that you've driven in forever, you're going to say, there is no way. There is no way I can drive my Chevy Volt 180 miles per hour down the highway. Yeah, you're right. There isn't no way. You got to get out of that vehicle and you got to get into that Corvette. You get into that new Corvette, and I'm going to guarantee you can go 180 miles per hour down. But you're right. You can't with that. But then you got to be able to say, well, I can what? I can develop new skills. Skills is the key. I can develop new skills. As I set bigger goals, I can develop new skills to help me get to where I want to go. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I want to encourage you, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on in your life, don't get discouraged at everything going up, right? But be encouraged to think, okay, pressure on my potential is good. Pressure on my potential is good. God is bringing pressure on your potential to say, man, I got to go up higher to a new financial level. I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to stay stuck here. I am not going to accept my income, because inflation's not your problem. Incomes is your problem. That is your problem. You just need more income. Once the income comes, inflation, 7-8% inflation, okay, no big deal. Gas prices go up, okay, no big deal. I just need to bring in more income so I have no stress and I can thrive in the earth. God bless you. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me go over here to the chat just before we go. Say hi to a few of you. Deborah Wright, hey, good to see you. Sarah, good to see you. Oh yeah. Some of you are hitting 83K. Go ahead. Hey, if you're watching by replay, hit hashtag replay. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of 83K posts down below. If you're interested, we're going to be doing a little seminar on this, so we're going to connect you with that. It's going to be awesome. Wow. Good to see. Good to see Sherry. Good to see Destiny. Hey, happy birthday to Destiny. Bernard, good to see you. Bernard's getting ready to release his new book. Janice is preparing her new book. Awesome, awesome. Evangelist Jesus. Evangelist, hey, good to see you. I'm not sure what you wrote there, but it's a long thing. Who else is on here? Who else? Let me say hi to a couple. Hallie's on here. Good to see Hallie. Awesome, awesome. You're going to be amazing. Judith, she's working on her book. Yeah. Wow, 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 wow. We got some people already who are on here who are already moving forward in what I'm teaching on this. So I'm so excited. Well, you're heading in the right direction. Jim, hey, Jim, great to see you here today. Good to have you on. So thank you, Father. Thank you for increase. We have a mindset of increase. No matter what's going on, no matter what's happening financially in the world, we are people of increase, and you want to increase our lives. Thank you, Father, for the divine strategies that we need to get there. Thank you for the skills that we need to develop, Lord. Show us the skills, the new skills, so that we can move up higher on our financial mountain and set bigger goals. God bless you. Create a great day.